Thank you, Kevin. I muted myself so you guys wouldn't hear me trying to clean up all my crap on my desk, and then I forgot I muted myself. I don't understand. My brain is not with it today. Welcome in, Rosie, and welcome in, Adam, or Canadian Farmer. It's going to take me forever to call you that. I'm just going to keep calling you Adam. No, so I got more of the peen yarn. And thus, a peen was made today. This one turned out normal. Woohoo! Did you? It's really good. And this one turned out a little wonky. I was attempting to try something, and so he looks kind of like he's looking to the left. You know, he's just looking off to the side. He's staring at probably boobs. But 2 penises have been made, and I have more penises from the one I finished, the skein I finished last time, on my desk, and I tried with a different type of yarn. So we have penises. Eventually I will get some made and they will get put on the 4th wall. But also they're going to be for like giveaways and stuff. Because, I mean, who doesn't like a tiny peen? Well, I'm sure there's some people who don't like tiny peens. This type of tiny peen is okay. But yeah, and then they were 30% off at Target last week. So I got books 2 and 3 because I was almost done with this one. But it is so funny, and I love Donut. Donut is the best. The best. I mean, cats are good anyway, but Donut is like... So they're like running, and she is typing in all caps, because it's kind of like a combination of things. Like a mix of like, obviously D&D, but with a little WoW, and also a little like Dungeons and Dragons. Like all like mishmashed into one thing, like parts of each of those type of things. And they can talk to each other on like player chat, on like group chat, okay, you know, party chat, like in WoW and a lot of other games. But she's typing in all capitals, and he's like, "Damn it, Donut, stop typing in all caps. It makes me think you're yelling at me." And she goes, "I am yelling at you." Yeah. She's like, "Yes, I am yelling at you." And he's like, "Oh." And that's like their catchphrase now, because they can be like pulled out of the dungeon to be put on like shows to like get them followers and viewers and things, and then they can be given gifts. And they're like, "Say your catchphrase." And he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." And they're like, "Sure you do." And they start giving him hints, and he's like, "Oh, shit." And they're like, "That's right, say it." And he's like, "Damn it, Donut." Welcome in, All Mom. Thank you for the I'm here. So, those are the things I've been reading. So, the Denver Serial, which is the series I just finished, like all 26 books of it, which is like 753 chapters, is a serial. She writes a chapter a day, or a chapter a week, and you releases part of each chapter every day of the week. And it's still going on. But it starts out with like fairly normal things, and then it takes a little side turn, and you start getting like fae and goddesses and titans and then Templars. It's all kind of weird, but also enjoyable. I don't know. I did not expect it to take that kind of turn. Oh my god. You do need to finish writing your book. I'll read it if you want it. 20 stream streak. Woohoo! Go, All Mom. I just read. I don't write. I follow directions very well, but I don't make the directions. I don't do that. But yeah. So like I said, I mean, this is like over 400 pages, and they progressively keep getting bigger, the Dungeon Crawler Carl books, which now has like become a thing. I just randomly saw it at Barnes & Noble and picked it up a couple months ago. And then in those couple months, it is like popped up everywhere. And they're like making a game about it and a TV show, and it's just kind of crazy. But it is very good. And I saw another book by this author next to the Dungeon Crawl books at Target when I was buying books 2 and 3, but I didn't pick it up because frankly I bought 70 books a couple months ago and I haven't read any of those, but in fairness I had already read some of those. Oh mom, I read a book before I read these books, and there was blood orgies with like one queen and like 7 of her minions. Oh, my to be read list is out of control, and I will haunt a library so I can finish it. I like spicy paranormal books. I mean, there's nothing better than a vampire blood orgy, you know? You know, you can never get enough. Yeah, my to be read list is out of control. Like, I could live in 7 lifetimes and never finish it, because when you finish one book, you add everything else that author has ever published to your to be read list. Do you? I don't know what mine is. 38 books. I read 26 since like the middle of February. I don't know what I'm at. I'll tell you what I'm at in a minute. It might be less than 38. Goodreads says I've only read 22, but I find that hard to believe considering I read 26. You have hitting it. Why are you following me? It's being weird. You got a new logo? Whoop whoop! I love new logos. Yeah, get that. Yeah, like yeah. That's why I was like, it's gotta be wrong, because I read all 26 books in this series. So something's not. I just went through and added like all the Denver Serial to red, but I don't know if it didn't like update yet, or maybe it didn't like them. So I looked at that one a bunch, and I don't know, I might. Yeah. It does. My speech to text is horrible sometimes. Like, I look at it and I'm like, no, I did not say that at all. And the swipe text is bad sometimes too, because you're like, I have never said duckin' in my life. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't add them. Yeah, I've seen it and I've looked at it a couple times, but I haven't started it. Sorry, now I'm like, why is it not saying I read it? Maybe because I didn't add a date. It didn't put them. Like, I didn't add a date to the, when I checked red on Goodreads, I didn't add a date, so maybe that's why it's saying no, like it didn't add them. I don't know. But yeah, so we just go with it. We just go with it. But I've been trying to figure out how to do this book after dark. We just randomly talk, but then I feel like we don't always talk, or like it gets slow. So I wondered if we should set like a genre type. Like, you know, next month we'll talk about this genre, and then the month after that, a different genre. Or, like, the whole idea was just for people to talk about any books, all books. Like, you know, whatever you want, whatever you're reading, things you like, you know, things you've read in the past, things you want to read in the future. So, I'm not quite sure. I need to read like the last 2 by T.S. Joyce. I know at least the last one. There might be 2. But I didn't buy them because I wanted to read through this whole series. And I knew if I stopped to read something else, I would get sidetracked and then like never get back around to it, or like 6 months from now get back around to it. So I was like, no, just read through them. Barbagans of Rook series. Yeah, I don't. Where's my tablet? I can look if I have it on. Because, sometimes books go on free, a freebie, and then I download it because it's free, but then, I never actually get around to reading it. Because, that's not important. Hunted Omega. 12 chapters in and nowhere near. That's all right. Books can be as long or short. I have read books where they were like 50 chapters in it. This, that's how that works. You're like so much. Why did I not spawn? I can't type. Oh, I am there. I'm behind. I'm behind there. Look, I got a Baphomet in my thing today. So, like, every 4 days, there's a case I can open, and it has a new character type in it, and Baphomet was in there today. I was so excited. My thing is that I'm doing a lot of research because I'm trying to make it, like, this day and age, but something that you can identify with, so it's still super net. I have heard that a lot from, like, talking to different authors, that like the research can take you down like whole rabbit holes, and then like it takes forever to write it because you're like, no, I want to do more research, or I want it to be this way. It could be. I mean, some of them seem like they do, like each book is progressively longer than the last one. So the one you're reading is by April L. Moon, right, Rosie? Just making sure. Because, some of them have like similar titles, or like series titles. That's not the one I thought it was. But that's not unusual. I'll have to find the one I was talking about. But yeah. So yeah. No, I said April L. Moon was the author of the books you were talking about, right? It was a raindrop. She said no. I love Rasputin, okay? I have like an unhealthy obsession with the weird guys, and that should have been a clue when I was young and I watched the movie, the animated movie about the lost Romanov, and I thought, Rasputin, that's my guy. I mean, he was weird. Well, I've read ones where Rasputin is a vampire, and that makes more sense with the hemophilia and whatnot. Okay, Rosie, that's not the series I was thinking in my head. And now I have to figure out what series I was thinking of. Maybe it was just the Omegas? Yeah, it's like, I keep wanting to say because of you, but I don't think it's because of you, but it's something, and then like you is real big on the cover, and then like her, and then me. So same way. Okay, oh mom. Drive safely or walk safely. Same way. It's the same series is the name of. So it is just the last one. Because it's like same thing, same difference, same old, and same way. It's a non-Damon's Mountain series. And I don't think you can buy her books other places because they're part of Kindle Unlimited a lot. But I'm going to check real quick and then we can all know. Nope. Okay. I'll buy it on there and that's what I'll read tonight. Yes! There were like 2 back-to-back though, I think. Because I know which ones you're talking about. Because she wrote one a while ago. And then this year it was like tacked onto it. Palette cleansers in between. Now I have to look for which one it was. Yeah, the hamster, the armadillo, and the cat. And I love that the cat is scared of the hamster. She's like petrified of her. When cats are supposed to hunt rodents, she's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're the hamster. Oh my god. Yeah, that was hilarious. But the armadillo one was a while ago. But yes, so I just bought the last one and I'll read it. I'll start reading it tonight. But yeah. Yeah, it was a while ago. So at first it took me a minute. Like when I started reading it, I was like, this is part of a series, it's book 2, but like what was book 1? And I had to go back and look it up and I was like, oh, I remember that now. So then, yeah, like the hamster and the cat were like, boop, boop. But I enjoyed them. Listen, I think as streamers, we get good at reading what we think people mean because no one can type. Because you're trying to type so fast to keep up with chat that, like, things never come out the way they're supposed to. Like, nobody's got time to check their what they wrote. They just have to hit enter and go, or else it'll be like past the time the conversation has moved on to something else. But so when we came home from nationals on the way home, we bought new shelving for more Legos because I never have enough shelving for Legos, which means I pulled Legos off my bookshelves and actually put them on Lego shelves. So I got all my books that I ordered or that I bought at the last book signing on bookshelves. So, yay. But also, there's not really room for any more books, and I'm already going into a signing in August, so. So they're all on there. There's no longer like huge stacks turned sideways on top. But my problem is I'm collecting all those Royal Bastard books. And then I started like another series like that, or a collection. Not get rid of them, that's horrible. No getting rid of the books. You must keep them all like treasured precious babies. That's the kids' inheritance. Legos and books. I mean, the Legos will probably be worth something, but not so much the books. I told you. Kick the man out of his room, put him in the other room, and you take both rooms. I mean, yeah, if the author turns into something like huge, then maybe. But yeah, so this is kind of like, I don't know, and I was like, if you guys want to do something one day or 1 month, we can do something. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, kick them out of the room, take the big room, take both rooms. Tell the boy child that since he's moving down there, he can just live in the basement and you're taking his bedroom and that room, and then you'll have everything. All the space. It's all yours. Oh, you're in his bedroom. Dang it. I think you could have just moved down to the bedroom and only needed to come upstairs for food. It's so big it looks like a studio apartment. I mean, seriously, you could buy a ginormous house here for the price you guys paid for that. Sent the logo. Okay. Do. Oh, that's fantastic. Did you make sure to all fit in the circle? I mean, most of it should because you've got the curved top and bottom. I had to keep messing with mine to get it to fit in the circle on Twitch. I know, but I'm just saying, like, that's one of the crazy things about, like, different places you live. Like, $250,000 will buy in this place versus another place. Like, you know, you got it to fit somewhere. You're just gonna see a cow sticking its tongue out. But yeah, when we were looking, there were a lot of houses in like the 250, and once you started going more, they were like crazy, like mini mansions and crap. We need to just buy land and build a commune. Land in a commune. I'm telling you. Land here is everywhere. They're selling land all over the place. We were talking about a crafty commune where everybody would have a house, obviously, and then we would have like a streaming building in the middle where like everybody would have their own office to stream from, but then you would have a huge thing in the middle where if you wanted to co-stream, you could just like have cameras all over the place. Yeah, but I'm saying though, like for what they spent on their house, like how much that would be, like the prices or the houses you could get for that price here. Like we didn't pay $250, but like we started looking like, and there were a lot of houses in that price range. Yeah, we don't pay property taxes. Well, we did the first year because we didn't realize you had to have it in by a certain time. So we paid it that first year, but we haven't paid it since. So that's good. But yes. So like I said, I never know what I'm doing when I come on to do these book talk chat thingies. You know, if I need to be more like, I didn't want it to be like a book club because then I wind up not reading the book because, yeah, I know the property taxes there are like as much as people's mortgages every month. It's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing when I come here to talk about this stuff. I'm just like, I like to talk about books. Maybe other people will want to talk about books. Either that or I'd read it right away and then I'd forget about it by the time book club came. And I'd be like, oh yeah, we read that. But I've read 17 other books since then, so I'm going to need a refresher. Either that or I'd be like, I tried to wait till it was closer to the time. So, in fact, I did not get to read it and I'm halfway through it. Because that's me. Yeah, that's what would happen. And because then, like, well, because then, like, not everybody's going to want to necessarily read that book. Right? So, there's that too. Like, people may not want to read certain books, right? Like, so I didn't want it to be like book club where everybody had to read, like, one book. I wanted it to be more just, like, chat about books. But also, like, I know it takes time for, like, things to, like, you know, get rolling and people to attend it. Yeah, and I mean, I have my Discord up with a Book After Dark voice channel that people can join and talk instead of typing if they don't want to type. Because I know, like I said, sometimes I know typing gets, like, lost in the mix. Like, by the time you type out what you wanted to respond to, like, the conversation has moved on. So I have a Book After Dark voice channel that people can jump in and chat in, like, as the stream is happening. And I mean, we can talk about anything. It doesn't have to be books. It's just, like, randomness, because it leads from one thing to the next, and we all have the tism, and before you know it, we're talking about something that has nothing to do with books, but that's okay. Because one of us will bring it around in the end, and it'll all make sense anyway. So,
well, that's normal for your chat, though.
I know, it is. It is completely normal. Oh, I was like, is it gonna do how you doing twice? What you doing? Thank you for the biddies. But yeah, like, so I don't know. The premise is that, and also I'm going to try to be better about, like, posting, like, after I finish a book, posting about it in the Discord book channel. And that way people can see, and other people can share what they're reading in there too. Be like, I just finished this book, and, like, throw a picture of it in there, or write the title and the author, or whatever. But I also bought another book. I bought it at Sam's Club because I saw it and I was like, haha, that seems funny. And Fantasy started to read it, so, you know, I don't know. I'll get it back someday. As long as it doesn't get lost in her hazmat space of her room. But yeah, so that's why I didn't want to do it as, like, we're reading this book. I thought about doing it where I read maybe, like, a chapter from a book during the book stream, but also that leads around to, like, not everybody's gonna like that book. So, which, I mean, it's fair. I'm not trying to get everybody to like one type of book or whatever, because I read just about all kinds of books. So, but all this to say that this is just kind of whatever. I don't know what I'm doing, and people can just join it. Talk about whatever you want. Or not talk. All these things.
Everything.
Right? Like, all these things are fine. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, well, you know, there's not a lot of people shut up, or not a lot of people talked. But that's okay. I mean, some people just tune in and they want to listen. They don't want to talk. I do that a lot. But also I know, like, things take a while to, like, snowball and build up. And so this is only, like, the third or fourth one I've done. I didn't do one last month because I forget why. We were somewhere and I missed it. And then I just didn't do one to make up. But So it takes time for people to realize, oh, she's doing that, and oh, she only does it once a month, so I got to tune in then. So, so yeah. So I don't know. Is what I'm saying. Please bring up things, and we'll talk about them. Because I don't know what to talk about.
Like that crazy logo that Crystal designed.
That is so adorable. I saw one where it's licking its own nostril. That was hilarious.
Oh, believe it, I got some other ones.
Like where the cow's tongue came up and it was basically in its own nostril.
I have some pictures.
And I was like, that's one way to dig for boogers when you don't have fingers.
I'm gonna do a sweater that's gonna have that logo in the front, and on the back of it says, what's she about this? Like, digging for,
mining for boogers, or digging for gold, mining for gold. I've heard it called.
Something about move something. Like move, gosh, the way she said it was hilarious. Oh,
You didn't make a note of it right then. That's how those things work, though. Like, if you don't write it down, you completely forget what you was going to say.
yeah, the way she said it, it was like, oh, just the way she said it, was just like, oh my god, perfect.
I was going to make new shirts that have, because that's the thing now. They have, like, whatever word, period, whatever, like,
Yeah.
top to bottom. So I was going to be, like, books, sarcasm, chaos,
Yeah, like I already did a call. I could just figure out how to do a coffee nugget. So I was talking to you. I was like, oh, how you? Oh, this is not.
Yeah, on Fourth Wall. So the first one I designed only had the design one time in the center, and Alex bought one and had it shipped to her. When she came, she was like, "Can we talk about the coffee cup? Maybe do it twice so it's on the sides and not just opposite the handle." And I was like, I didn't even think about that. Sure. So she has the only one of that coffee cup that was ever actually made, and then it went to the one on either side, like the rest of us have.
Yeah, I just got one on one side for now, but like I just, oh, I know I can play around with it and figure it out later. It's just like just playing around with stuff. I made one go live, so it's okay, it's good enough.
Yeah, it takes a while, like, playing around with Fourth Wall to, like, get things situated. And I worry that where I place the, like, writing won't look right when it comes. You know what I mean? Like, when it's printed, it'll be, like, too far down or too far up. But I figured roughly, like, where the armpits on the shirt are is a good place for the top of your design to be. If that makes sense. Like, where the armpits are on the shirt.
Yeah.
Like, roughly across. That's kind of a good place. And I don't know. I don't know how. I think I just placed it and was like, I think that looks good. And I had one shipped and I was like, if it's bad, I'll fix it and I'll be the only person with that shirt. So what does it matter? I need to write myself a note because I said last time that I needed to check my order because I think the books I got from DM Earl at the book signing that I'm missing some.
Yeah, she did that in the car. She was playing around with the card. I don't know what she did, but by the time we got home, she had to go here. Throws it at me. I'm like,
and I need to message the one other author because Amazon took her books on a journey. And so they weren't at the book signing for me to pick up the ones I pre-ordered. So she was going to mail them to me. But I still haven't gotten them. So but I'm thinking about it now. And if I don't write myself a note, I will forget that I remembered. And then,
And it never happened.
Yeah, then it never happened.
You see what's gonna happen here. I'm gonna start making stuff, and the person's going, "Oh, I want this. Oh, I want that." I'm like,
I think it was Nikki Landis.
You're so beautiful, kitty face.
But I can double check the PayPal too for that. But if I don't write myself a note, and I remember to order more eyeballs for the little peens so that I can, so they have eyeballs. And I got yarn to make another dragonling. So this is our air one. Did we want me to start putting the things I make on the fourth wall to be purchased?
it's gonna be a tempting thing.
Oh, my crochet creations on the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next one is supposed to be a water dragonling. So I got what I fondly call Perry the Platypus color yarn. And then like a mint color. Yeah, they're just patterns I buy and I just make the pattern. I do not create patterns. I also crocheted a what are those things called? Coaster. Like my brain just went bloop. I just randomly found a coaster pattern and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that.
This is gonna drive me nuts.
You have a friend that needs someone that can create them. You mean somebody who can do the patterns, like crochet them out? I can't make patterns. I can just follow directions really well. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I can crochet things. If she needs a pattern tester, I would be happy to test them. Crazy would too, because then I would stop buying more patterns. Because I get bored. Also, my brother-in-law wants me to buy a 3D printer, which is a whole nother thing we all don't need.
Oh dear.
In fact, he sent us money to buy a 3D printer, so if anybody's got ideas about which ones are good, let me know, because this is a whole nother craft I don't need to be responsible for, but will totally buy way too much and print things. And then there'll be 3D things on my fourth wall. Bamboo brand, I was looking, like, I don't know what's good and what's not. I was hoping to get one that I could print multiple colors, you know, that way.
The only pictures that I've ever used have been bamboo.
A creative, when I like tried to Google, Creative Labs was another one that came up. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know enough about 3D printers to know which ones are good and which ones are bad. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, like, enough about them to know, like, people are like, oh, well, it's a good, like, the brand is good, but this specific one just gives everybody headaches. I don't know enough about them. I mean, I could go to Reddit, but I feel like that's dangerous. That's, like, a whole different pathway I maybe don't want to go down. But yeah, we were buying stuff at the Nationals, and he was like, you guys are spending a lot of money on stuff you could make yourself. And I was like, I don't have a 3D printer. And he was like, you could. And then he's like, I'm going to send you money as a birthday gift to Crazy to buy a 3D printer. And he's like, I don't care about that. I was like, how did your birthday present turn into something I'll use?
That's also another thing that I can do. I can 3D model.
Oh, Megan's okay. Yeah, I don't know enough about them as a whole to like you know, and it's a big purchase. I don't want to, you know what I mean, spend a bunch of money and then it be like not a good one. But yes, and then I can 3D print. Have you seen the 3D printed book boyfriend things that go on like they're like bookmarks, or like they press underneath the books on the shelves and they're just like standing up against the books? I thought about trying resin and making D&D dice, but again, that is another hobby I don't need. I have hobbies coming out of my yin yang, and I don't need another one, but I will take another one and I will try it. And my Tism says, we can do it. We can do it. A Bamboo Lab X Carbon. Okay. What X1? Oh, okay. That was supposed to be one. I just thought it was like an exclamation point, but I see there. The phone likes to do the phone thing and be weird when you... But yeah, I think I'm going to put the peens on my fourth wall. Because honestly, for like $5. And then I keep buying patterns and making stuff. And then I'm like, oh, I don't need more stuffed animals in my house. So maybe it'll just like whatever ones I make, I'll throw up on fourth wall of the crochet stuff. And, you know, I take requests because I love getting new things. I love new patterns. I just bought like 500 cross stitch patterns. Yeah, it's another way to empty the baking it because I don't have 17 hobbies that do that already. I mean, there's reading books, which is one hobby, and there's collecting books, which is a different hobby. And then there's collecting fabric, which is one hobby, and then there's using that fabric, which is a different hobby. Then there's Legos and crochet and cross stitch. Out of all of them, cross stitch is a fairly cheap hobby. Yeah, I don't need a 3D printer. But I'll get one. Yeah, and diamond dots. There's that too. I have all the hobbies. But cross stitch is probably the cheapest hobby. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably the cheapest. Mainly because I already had a lot of stuff from when I did it before. So when I find a new pattern, it's usually only have to buy a couple colors. And like maybe the fabric, which is still fairly cheap as far as hobbies go. But yeah, I probably don't need a 3D printer. But if I buy one, I'll put a camera on it and you guys can watch it print while I do other things. It'll turn into a 24-hour day stream. Rosie, well, I mean, you pretty much just do the, like the scrapbooking, or do you do the cards too? Fairy gardens. I've never gotten into doing the fairy gardens. Everything's so tiny, and you have to glue. Glue is not my friend. Glue is not my friend. That's why I was like, does she make cards too or no? I couldn't remember. I really liked making stuff with the embroidery machine. Of course, I rarely ever embroidered anything. I made like the keychains and the hair things. I did all the other things except for embroidery things. People would contact me and they're like, can you put my initials on this thing? And I was like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. And they're like, but you have an embroidery business. No, I have an embroidery machine. I make keychains and hair ties and other stuff. But I don't do that. I would do like the kids shirts with the like patch type stuff on it, but like I didn't really do like the whole put my initials on this giant tote so everybody can know who I am. Well, my machine doesn't even work with my computer anymore. The computer updated and they stopped making updates for the machine, so they won't talk to each other anymore. So I'm slowly, little bits, saving up for a new one. I want to get one that does a bigger space, mainly so I can make more than 3 keychains at a time. Yeah, and I mean, I could figure out a way to, like, regress my machine, but, like, no, it's fine. Yeah. They like to do that, where they, like, stop making updates for things, so then you have to buy a new one. But that machine is, like, 10 years old, too. I mean, granted, it still works, but it was never, like, top of the line, best, fantastic thing. It was good, and it worked, and I liked it. And I mean, I technically don't have to get rid of it, because it is a sewing machine and embroidery machine combo, so I can just take the, like, embroidery machines part off, and still use it as a regular sewing machine. So I don't have to get rid of it. It's not, like, garbage. It just doesn't work as an embroidery machine anymore. It has, like, a ton of different stitches on it. Like, you know, you pick the number down below and do that stitch kind of a deal. So it's still usable. It's just not for an embroidery machine anymore. But I will one day get another one and make all the stupid keychains anybody desires, because that's my thing. I loved making, like, keychains and coasters and all kinds of weird stuff on there. Yeah. So bananas. So what did you want to ask about Fourth Wall, Adam?
Trying to figure out how to make stuff. I was like, oh, I already figured it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's, I didn't make any of my patterns, designs, whatever on there. I made them in Canva and downloaded them and then uploaded them to Fourth Wall.
Yeah, that's what Crystal's got on her tablet. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, I used Canva to make it, and then I just saved it and, Beer and Steer with a trucking logo on it. Do you have a trucking logo? I pay the $15 a month, so I do all my stuff in Canva. I do my schedules in there and everything. And frankly, there's the free version, which is still really good. It's just I wanted specific fonts and things like that, so I was willing to pay the difference, you know, pay it monthly. And in the end, when I have to pay taxes, I just claim it as a business expense, because it is.
Oh, I'm just doing it just as I don't care. I'm just doing it just more or less to say, hey, it's something there.
Well, I mean, the Canva thing, because I had to pay taxes this year, so I just claimed the Canva as a business expense. So it's not, and I mean, it's not crazy expensive. Some of those are like, we want $45 a month, and I'm like, oh, no, thank you. It's $15. It's within our budget without even noticing it, so I'm not worried about it. But yeah. So who knows? I'll probably try to finish Dungeon Crawler Carl in like this week probably. And then I will start the massive rampaging of reading like a whole bunch of stuff that's on my tablet. Because like I said, when they do like the Stuff Your Kindle days, I'll get a bunch of them. Because they're free, right? Like I didn't spend anything. Like, I still only take ones I think I'm going to read or that I think I'll enjoy. But then, like, oh, that book by that author came out. Like, the next book by one of my favorite authors comes out. So I buy that one and I read it. And then before I know it, I haven't read any of those free ones. So I'm, like, trying to go back and go through and read more of those. So it'll probably start a reading rampage. And then, you know, guys will be sick of me. I'll be posting like all the time in Discord. Finish this, check out this. I did this one. Well, I usually read between 250 and 300 books a year. Sometimes more than 300 books a year. Yeah. If they're small books, I can read like 2.5 in a day as long as I don't ever get on the computer.
I'm lucky if I read 8 books a year. Yeah, I don't read a lot.
Oh, that's okay. You do other things.
Yeah. A lot of carpentry bull crap.
I can't do... Okay, so I have personally nothing against audiobooks. I just can't listen to them. My brain will check out somewhere along the way, and I'll tune back in a half an hour later and be like, what did I just miss? Like, I personally can't listen to audiobooks. But, like, if you listen to audiobooks, more power to you. But I will tune out somewhere. I know myself, and it won't work. Yeah, Kippy at the door singing the song of her people. Lately, she's gotten real comfortable with being outside. Like, she's got a harness and a leash. And she generally doesn't go outside unless she has them on. But before, she'd be like, just go back inside, go back inside. And now she's like, nope, I'm just going to walk around the yard. So now I'm probably going to have to start watching when I leave the door open to bring the groceries in, that she doesn't try to, like, make the great escape. But libraries, like, all over are getting ready to do the summer reading program. If anybody participating, that's what I meant to look at. Summer... I meant to look at when the bases one was, like, when you could sign up. The kickoff is June 4th. And this year's theme is Plant a Seed, Read. And it's like farm with little seeds. The seed has glasses on. And it's reading. Pre-registration begins June 1st. Okay. Oop, we're going to have ads in a minute. They will go for 3 minutes and then we will be back. This is the same theme here. Yeah, I imagine, like, through all the base libraries, it's the same theme. I thought about it like a week ago, and I was like, I was driving, and I was coming home from the base, and I drove past. Yeah, we do the local one, like local to where we live, and we do the base one because we don't live far from the base, so it's not a big deal. Plus, you know, you're always going to the base for one thing or another anyway, so, or at least I am, grocery shopping, to the doctor, whatever. Beanstalk is the name of the app they use, though. Beanstack. Sorry, not stock. Well, your base doesn't have one? There was a library on that base, wasn't there?
No, they closed it down right before we left.
Oh, no, that's right. I was like, they had one. I remember going to it, but they tore it down.
Rude.
No, I just want to log in. I already have an account. I don't. Beanstack. Like, I'm just trying to sign in.
Canvas sent a code to your.
It might be to somewhere else.
Little nuisance wants to go outside.
Yep, I want out.
Yeah. Any of that.
Here. It's right there on the thing. There we go. She likes the outside.
She does. That's so weird. Because like 2 weeks ago, she would shake. You even got her close to the door. And she's like, you will take me outside forever. Bring us up. Noodles, I need shoes.
It wants me to reset my password. Oh, was it nice? I don't think I ever went there. But I know we went to the library there. And did, I think we did the summer reading program there too.
Door. Come here. Go to the door.
Yeah, because it used to be down like by all the car dealerships. You drive down that long road, and then it was like right near the end. It was kind of like off in the middle of nowhere, like compared to like everything else in town.
Yeah, it's a road.
I'm gonna bookmark this so I don't lose it. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it makes sense that they're changing stuff up.
You could put, no. You know, like you put your first, there she does. Gotta put on your phone.
I imagine, like, since we've lived there many moons ago, a lot of things have changed. Like, been like 10 years since we lived there.
Alright, let's go.
I wonder if there's a way you can look up based on your address, like, what is technically your library. You know what I mean? But because usually they want some like proof of residency for you to be like belong to the library, which is always kind of weird. But let's look it up. How to find out which is your local library. Okay, according to Google, it says to find your local library, you can use online library locators by entering your zip code, check your county or city government websites, or simply use a mapping search for public library near me. Let's see. I looked this up, and I don't want to give it to you before I make sure it's correct. It is. Okay. So, copy. So, if you go to this website and then you type in your zip code, it will tell you what is your local library. Like, it'll give you the closest library to you. And then out from there. So this actually has to do with reading, but it was funny. So this guy took this woman to court. It was on one of those like Judge Judy type shows. And he was suing his neighbor for the cost of his daughter's therapy because his daughter took who's 8, by the way, took a like zombie graphic novel out of the public little library, the little free library she put in her front yard, and then had nightmares because of it. And so he wanted to sue his neighbor for the cost of the therapy because she shouldn't have put that in there. The judge was like, you have to take some accountability, sir. Like, yeah, she put out a thing in your local Facebook neighborhood thing that there were books in there for kids, but that doesn't mean every book in there is age appropriate for your kid. So you have to take accountability, sir, that you should have made sure what she took from there was age appropriate for her, not just expected somebody else to make sure. What if she had adult books in there that weren't meant for 8-year-olds at all? Like, this one was just meant for teenagers that were slightly older, but like, what if the books were like vampire orgies? You know, like, she can't be held responsible for everything in there. Like, the person taking it out accepts the responsibility, right? Like, so he didn't win, but it was crazy. And he's like, the judge also told him, like, I'm not going to find her guilty, liable, whatever, for this, because this is a slippery slope. Like, where do we stop that then? So, like, people are going to stop doing nice things like that because they don't want this to happen. So they're just going to stop doing them. And then those resources will be gone because you don't want to take responsibility for the fact that you didn't make sure what your daughter took out there was appropriate for her. The Pikachu is stupid. Yeah. But like, he said he took her like twice a week or something for like 8 weeks, or I don't know. But like, cause she was having nightmares and she was really scared because it was a zombie graphic novel. Like, but like, why didn't you have a talk with your child? Be like, I know they have the little library over there, but I want to go with you to make sure whatever you take is age appropriate, right? Like, you can't go over there and take something without me. Instead, he just wanted somebody else to pay for it. Which, I mean, all those TV judge shows are like, take it with a grain of sand, you know? Like, it's probably all scripted. But, like, you can't blame somebody else because you didn't want to do your parenting job. Like, because a lot of those little free libraries aren't just for kids. There's all kinds of books in there. So I used to leave the lid off and put a straw in it, and then I spilled it one day, and now I'm petrified I'm going to spill it again. So, no. But yes, so that's the deal. I'm going to start putting books that I've read in the Discord, like, I think I just called it book stuff. So like books I've read or am reading, I'm gonna throw in there. And I try to stuff like, or put links for like the Stuff Your Kindle days in there. Because it's usually only one day. Like, those things only happen like one day, once a quarter. Sorry, I got the burpees. So I'm going to try to be better about putting those in there and like pictures of books I'm reading or like links to books I'm reading. Like I said, for like the last 2 months, because I started like mid-February. February to March into May. Yeah, so like the last 2 months I've been reading that one series and I just finished it. So I'll put a link to those in there. And like I said, I'm going to message the author because, you know, I don't know if she's going to make the more into book form. I don't even know when that last one was like published from like just the serials to like a book. Because usually just like a couple months worth of the amount of time she puts into a book. But I'm going to do that. And then, like I said, I bought the last T.S. Joyce one. I think that was her last one. It was at least the last one in that series. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. And so like other people feel free like to throw books you read in there. Yeah, I want to say that's the last one. I know every once in a while she takes a break from Damon's Mountain and writes like a series that doesn't have anything to do with Damon's Mountain, and then she goes back to Damon's Mountain, like over and over. So yeah, that's the last one. I have some of her older ones, but I'm not sure that I've read them all. Like the Mate for Hire and stuff, that series, and the Hell's Canyon. I don't think I've read those either. Publication date. There we go. Yeah, like I had gotten some of the older ones, but I don't think I've read them. At least not all of them. I think I read the first Mate for Hire, and then I'm not sure that I read the rest. And I don't think I've read any of the Hell's Canyon ones. But I love her books. They're always funny. I don't think I've read the Bear Valley Shifters either. Maybe I have that one. I don't know. It doesn't look like... Yeah, she's not done. No, she just keeps writing more and more, which I'm not against. Same one in that series. I just was trying to go back and look at... And like Wolf Bride, I don't think I've read any of those either. Yeah, I went to Amazon and I was trying to look at like the ones like way back in the beginning. You know, like way back. Because, I mean, she's written a ton. But I was trying to see... Yes, I like them. I like all of them. But I was just trying to... I'm like, oh, we're just going to scroll forever. At least that's what it feels like. I clicked English only. Why am I still getting them in Dutch and Spanish? Yeah, she has over 100 books. So, like, going way, way back to the beginning, it's going to take a minute. Buying Amazon. I will check through Goodreads. I clicked, like, English only just so it would, like, streamline how many books it was showing me, and it decided it did not want to, in fact, work that way. I was like, what? Nope, we're not doing that. It did for, like, the first couple that appeared, but when I, like, scrolled down, then it started adding them all in, and I'm like... You know, I'm just trying to do this for ease, you know? Let's see. Not popularity. Original publication year. That might be better. No, that didn't help any. Maybe if I look by series type. What just happened? Stream Elements. I don't know what Stream Elements is doing.
Oh, your Stream Elements probably has no links allowed.
Yeah, I was like, what just happened? Streaming tools. I guess it'd be in the chat bot. No.
It says I'm on timeout for the next 4 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, I didn't think anything was set up to do that. And I know I'm trying to settings. Here we go. I was like, now I'm trying to. That didn't help me. That's not actually settings, Stream Elements. Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out how to undo it, but that require I knew how it did it to begin with. Or like what setting.
Let's see here. I guess she's not a regular. Go back to the link protection. Yeah, she's not a regular, so.
No, she is a regular.
Sent you the link into
Well, it says exclude user group regular, and if it timed her out, that means she's not a regular.
No, I don't know then. But either way, I turned it off now. Because I don't... So like, I guess I didn't really have Stream Elements doing anything before. But I started them doing the point thing, and now I didn't realize that like any of this stuff was on. Well, now it's off. But I don't know how to like untime you out essentially before that.
It's fine. I've got less than 2 minutes left.
Oh, there we go. I figured it out. There you go. I was looking on Stream Elements to do it since they're the one who did it, but I just used regular Twitch to undo it. I was like, what the hell just happened? I don't have anything, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have any of those settings done. So you should be able to type now. But I see it in Discord.
Like it's not deleting anything I type.
Oh, there we go. It came through. I give up trying to figure out. Yeah, I was like, I don't know why anything was deleted. It just like popped up and I was like, what? No. Hate stupid. Let's see. I was looking at Bears for Hire.
The website is up to date because it's saying new releases.
Yeah. Okay, according to yeah. According to Goodreads, I've read all the Bears for Hire. I wasn't sure, so it must just be a while since I read them. Look at the Hell's Canyon. There was another one I saw. I'm not sure about Wolves of Winter Edge either. So no, I haven't read any of the Hell's Canyon ones or the Wolves of Winter Edge. Let's see, Wolf Brides. According to this, I've read all the Wolf Bride ones too. I just didn't remember. Some of them I know I've read, like most of them I know I have or haven't. But there are a couple like older ones that I'm like, I don't know, did I or didn't I read those? I'm pretty sure I read the Fire Bears too. Bear Belly. Yep. I was pretty sure I read those. Yep. Yeah, so there's only like those two little bits by her that I haven't read. I might have them and I just haven't read them yet. But I bought a bunch of books that were in like a Christmas biker collection. So it was like 25 bikers of Christmas or something like that. I bought like 14 of the 25 at the last book signing I was at. And now I just have to read them. It's always the tricky part. Sorry, guys. What's that? But also I thought maybe we could combine this with a craft. Like I could make cross-stitch bookmarks while we talk about books. I found some like pre-sized like cross-stitch stuff, so they're already made to be a bookmark. So you just cross-stitch on them and then put like a backing on them. Yeah, so I did that because I kept grabbing them on the Stuff Your Kindle days. Like, I read the blurbs and stuff and make sure it's ones I would like. But then, like I said, they get on there and I don't read them. And I was like, okay, I keep buying, or not buying because you haven't spent any money, but like I keep taking these and now I don't read them. So I wanted to like actually read them. And I found a couple that were like, oh my god, I love this. Why did I wait so long? And now I want to read all the rest in this series. 9 books later, on to another free one. But yeah. I've been doing those. And that's how I got back onto this. Because we talked about like books we had read in the past, and I was like, I read this Denver Serial, and then I was like, oh, I want to go back and read those. 26 books later, here we are. In fairness, I had like the first 6 or 7 already bought, and then so I just bought the rest. But I bought them through Barnes & Nobles. And I got my points because, you know, you spend $10, you get your points. So I was like, well, I'm not going to buy just one. I'll buy like the next couple because I know I'm going to want to keep reading them. Yeah, and then you just had to read all of them. So Nikki Landis and Darlene Tallman wrote 2 books this year that are connected, like they co-authored them. And so they were at the book signing I went to, so I bought them both and I had them both sign it. I was like, could you please sign my stuff? And I like had the bag of little penises, and I was like, would you like a peen? And she was like, yes. And she like reached in and she took one and she's like, I'm so excited. And her husband's like, not more peen stuff. We have so much peen stuff at home. We have a peen soap dispenser that you have to get soap. He goes, it's not funny. I go to the bathroom and she takes all the soap away, so I have to use it. He's like, if I want to wash my hands after going to the bathroom, I have to use the peen soap. So there I am in the bed. He goes, it's suction cups to the counter. And I was like, next time I'll see you. I found a different crochet pattern. It's a peen and balls, and you pull the tissues out of the tip. And she's like, please do. I will love you forever if you give me a peen tissue cover. I was like, next time you're at a book signing I'm at, I will bring you a peen tissue cover. And she was like, I will love you forever and ever and ever. And he's like, you're my least favorite person. Go away. She's like, they're not here to see you. Be quiet. Oh, but she was so funny. I had like one left and I was like, do you want a second one? She's like, yes, give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. And she's like standing there with both little penises doing a little dance. And he's like, oh my God, we're supposed to be cleaning up, not doing a penis dance. She's like, shh, we're doing a dance. And she's just standing there with her little penises. The one other author, she was like, this is going to go right next to the F-bomb somebody else crocheted me. And I was like, and well, now I know what to take to book signings. Penises. Tiny crocheted penises. Right? Like, now I need to make a sticker. Like, take a picture of one and make, like, a sticker. And, you know, because I made my logo stickers. I never know where the camera is. I made these little logo stickers. So now I have to take a picture of like the little peen. This is my favorite one because he's got a red body and a pink tip. Now I need to like take a picture of him and make him a sticker. This one's blue with green balls. This one's just green. He's actually kind of watermelon-y because he's got like flecks of red, like just randomly throughout. Take a picture with like 3 of them and make it a sticker, like, call it the Peen Squad. Put it on a shirt. Cut the background out, put it on a shirt, Peen Squad. There's always a weird one. The one author there had t-shirts, and it said, it was a black t-shirt, and it said always wear protection, and it had a little peen on a motorcycle with a helmet on. And I was like, oh my god. I can't take it. And another one was that dino roar that's going around, you know, everybody's dressing their pets up as a dinosaur and saying, Dino roar! Dino roar! Rah! Well, it said Dino roar! And it had a peen in a dinosaur costume. And I was like, oh, I gotta walk away or I'm gonna buy one of every one of these t-shirts. They were hilarious. You could just put bookshelves all through your house, Rosie. Like, all through your house. There's an empty wall, it now gets a bookshelf. In your basement, you could just fill it with books. Bookshelves, all over the place. Yeah, just, like, line them up. All down the wall. Cheap ones are only like $40 at Target. It's never that you have too many books. It's you don't have enough bookshelves. And then when you don't have room for any more bookshelves, your box is too small. You need a bigger box. And by box, I mean house.
See, I got them all to fit in the box. Stop calling our house.
Yeah. Look, I told you I could make all my crafts fit in that box. Stop calling our house a box. I mean, it works. All my crafts fit in the box. I don't know about too many new ones. Now with these kids in the house. I need them to move out so I can take their rooms and fill them with bookshelves. No, I always joke they're never leaving. They'll just put tiny houses on the back 40 when we buy land, and that'll be it. That's as far away as they're gonna move. But yeah, so that was the other idea I had. We could do like bookmarks. I could share a bookmark pattern and we could all cross-stitch bookmarks while we talk. Or I found diamond art bookmarks and I thought about buying them, and then I could do them on stream and seal them and then like send them to people or put them on fourth wall, you know. Because I found some pretty cool ones. I found like feather ones and like dragon ones. And I thought about it. And then I was like, would that be too thick though? Because they're kind of like the plexiglass. Like these are the Christmas ones. I mean, they're not terribly thick. I mean, but you know. But once you put dots on them, they're thicker. But still. And then I thought cross-stitch ones would be thinner. And they're not very big. So, like, the last magazine I had that came through, I have, like, a subscription to, like, the digital copy of this cross-stitch magazine. And, in every magazine, they have this, like, 2 pages of, like, small designs that you can use for, like, birthday cards or tags or, like, just little things. And, let me get this cat. She's going bananas. There were goldfish, like, swimming upstream. Like swimming. Meow! 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 Come here. Is that what you want? Meow! Meow! There. Meow! Look. You're on camera. Say hello. You being needy for camera attention? So needy. But the last one had like goldfish swimming, and I was like, oh, I could do that as like a little bookmark. So things. I don't think any of the 500 I bought the other day are really small enough to do as bookmarks, because they're all meant to be kind of like full pictures. Excuse me. I don't want your feet in my belly. But yeah. So that was another thought. We could do some kind of like craft while we talk about books. Rub your face. Rub your face. Oh, yeah, it's so good. It's so good. You gotta get your toe up there. It's so good. You gotta get your toe beans up there. Right? Like we could still talk about books, but we could do like a craft while we talk about it. And it doesn't have to be the same craft, obviously. But like that might draw more in. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But let me see if I can find it. This is what gave me the idea. Hello, kitty. Kitty. Nope, not that one. It would be June's. They have like an alphabet in every book too that like do. Here it is. Kippy, stop trying to type stuff in my thing. So I don't know. Let me switch real quick. Welcome in, Matthew DeRodes. I don't know if you'd be. So I saw this one here with like the fishy swimming, and I was like, I could do that as like a bookmark. You know, and so I was like, I could do something like that, like work on the cross stitch while we talk about books, or, you know, like do something, I don't know, book related while we talk about books. But greetings, welcome in. We are talking about everything. I mean, it starts out as books and then it takes a trip somewhere else. But feel free to tell us about books you like to read or about yourself in general. I'm trying to count. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, I love bookmarks. So it's about 80 stitches by like 20 stitches. But I could just put less fish in or more fish in as the as the thing goes. But I figured I could make those and then like do them as giveaways and things like that. Oh, well, welcome in. I am a reader, reviewer person. I have a blog. I've kind of stepped away from it in the last 2 years since I started doing this, but I'm trying to get back into it. It is a process. And maybe deciding to try to do it while the kids are also ending school was not the best attempt, but it's what I did. But we talk about all kinds of books. Things we've read, things we like, authors we like. So feel free to share a link. Like if you have like a Goodreads link or like an Amazon link. No, Kippy, you can't lay on my keyboard. Then you type to the good people gobbledygook and they don't know what I'm trying to say. Oh, you like when I do that. Chin switches. But yes, feel free to share like an Amazon link or a Goodreads link or something. I just finished all the published books of Denver Serial. She writes a chapter a week and it gets posted online, but she releases a little bit of the chapter every week. But I read 26 books and that took me 250 chapters from current, which is still a lot to go. But then I also started reading Dungeon Crawler Carl this past month, a couple weeks ago, and I need to finish it. I started reading it on a trip, and then it kind of got put to the side when I got home, but I need to finish it. But we, as a group, collectively read quite a variety of things. I get that. Sometimes they need a little fresh, a little update. Keep it cool. Okay, let's click the author thingy. Oh, that's fantastic. Congratulations. Ooh, rub your chin, Kippy Cuckoo. You're so needy. Well, I hit the follow on it. Found out that my pilot script may topped it. Oh, fantastic! I am so happy for you. Congratulations. I love when people get, like, recognized for the things they do. Because you spend a lot of time, effort, blood, sweat, tears creating these things. It's nice when they get acknowledged. Like, in big or small ways. So, I do this book chat once a month on the third Monday of every month. And then the rest of the time I stream other things like Lego on Tuesdays. And I just switched it to just Tuesdays and so that I could give myself diversity. So crafting on Thursdays, Lego on Tuesdays, and Sundays is video games. But there's other days where I like co-stream with other people or just I'm bored and I'm going to stream today. And then who knows what I'm doing. Also, don't forget this Wednesday is the last week for the current Star Path on Disney Dreamlight Valley. If you have not done your things to get all your prizes, make sure you do that. And I don't know what the new Star Path is going to be. I saw where they put the emotes and you like they want you to guess, but I didn't see a definitive. And it's usually a couple weeks between them. So I have what I call it Work It Wednesdays, where I put up Spirit City Lo-Fi on the screen. It's kind of like a game, but not really. But you can make a list. And this way it forces me to do the things I've been threatening to do or talking about doing on stream, but then of course never doing. This way it's like accountability, like because people are like, you haven't checked anything off in a while, like what are you doing? So I feel you. Sometimes I have to do that, or else I just keep talking about doing things, whether it's things for the stream or adding things to stream or changing just things in general, like, oh, I have to do this or make these phone calls, and then I just don't do them. So sometimes I have to do that. I call it Work It Wednesdays. What? You want this? Is this what you want? Yeah, Kitty wants a peen. There you go. No, you wanted the pen. That's a lot. That's a lot in a day. Congrats. I don't write at all. I read vicariously and a lot. But I don't write anything. Is this what you want? Oh yeah. Did I scratch the right spot, Kitty? Oh. She loves to lay on the keyboard. No matter how much I move her, she winds up right back on the keyboard. No, ma'am. No. No keyboard. What about the cow? Do you want the cow? I do tend to read the dark twisty things, but I do read lots of things, lots of different types. I'm not so much for the angsty. I'm like, just have a conversation already. Like 200 pages of this book could have been solved if it wasn't for the non-communication issue. That's fantastic. I barely have tomorrow planned out, let alone 20 novels from now. So, as an author, are you, what do they call it, the fly by your seat of your pants, or are you type the person that, like, plans out the book? Like, you have a plan when you start writing, or do you just kind of, like, whatever the voices in your head say? A planner or a pantster? Okay. Get off my keyboard again. No bitey. Don't be mad because I keep pulling you off the keyboard. You don't belong on the keyboard. A pantster. I think if I wrote, I would have to be a pantster too, because I don't know if I could plan that much out. Plus, like, you may have a plan, but then as you start writing, you're like, no, that's not going to work. And then you have to, like, redo it. And then, right, nope, and redo. That would be me if I tried to plan it. I think it would have to be a pantster. I could maybe, like, plan, like, kind of key points I want to try to hit, but I think that would be all I'd be able to plan, and everything after that would just kind of be like, nope, gotta just fly by the seat of my pants. Yeah, like I would have to be like maybe a mixture of both, but just kind of like, okay, kind of like this is the general theme I want, and to hit like these key points, like 1 or 2 key points, and then everything in between that would have to just be by the seat of my pants, whatever the voices in my head said. It would be murder. Yeah, that's kind of like what it would be with me. I think that's how it would probably wind up going. The cow's gonna get you, Kippy. Don't give me that look. You're the one who wanted in here. On my desk. Yeah, I read, like I said, a mix across the board of lots of different things. I always say that I read just about anything except for like a lot of the like religious fiction. I don't do that. You're gonna... You have to write it. I need answers to questions I have, Rosie. I had questions from the first book, and I need the second to answer those questions, hopefully. Hopefully not just give me more questions. But have a good evening. We're getting off, like, now. It's in my head. Now you have to get it on the keyboard. Do. Well, like, I haven't read the second, so I still just have the questions from the first. But have a good evening. We're actually, like, I plan to only stay on, like, 2 hours when I do these, because I never know what's, Thank you for the follow. I always follow back, so give me 1 second. Scroll up. Hello. I always follow back. We are on our road to 500. We are about 40 follows from 500. No, do not eat the random crochet fuzz on my desk. Let me try to find someone who's doing book-related things. Excuse me, Kippy. You're making all the spaces happen while I'm trying to type. I'm sorry that we're getting off just as you kind of came in. But I do kind of only plan for 2 hours for this because I'm never sure how many people are going to be here, and I don't want it to be like a super long stream with like no real things. So there was no one with that tag. Let's try book. Yeah, I do longer streams when I do my other stuff, but when I do it like this, I tend to just be just a little bit. Because I never know how many people are going to be here and things like that. And this is only like the third one I've done of like this kind of. I kept talking about it for forever, and then I was like, okay, I just have to actually do it. So we started with once a month, and we figure we can do it more depending on other people. But I do also have like a channel in my Discord for people to comment what they're reading. You know, they find a sale they want to share, things like that. I try to share the Stuff Your Kindle days in there and things like that. I don't know why I clicked out of that. Like I didn't still need to be in there to find somebody to read into. Yeah, yes, bloop, 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 bloop. Sorry, my cat is making it very hard for me to use my keyboard. She says, no, this is my space. Now, you can't use it. So if you click that link, it should take you to Discord. The code isn't supposed to expire, but that doesn't mean it doesn't. So on occasion, I have to, like, replace it. Excuse me. You can't eat the paper. No plastic in your mouthy. I think. Okay. I have Discord up. What was I doing? I don't know anymore. Kippy, you're distracting me. I'm going to hang up the Discord. I don't know. I'll figure out what I was doing later. I think we're going to just raid into Wargaming so that we know him and we can, if we raid and run, it's not that big of a deal. Oh, let me get rid of this cat real quick. Can't just let her wander around the room or she'll start like listen, I can't type either, and the cat was just making it more fun to not be able to type, making it even worse. So we're gonna do a shout out for Wargaming, and then we'll do our raid for Wargaming. I will be back tomorrow building more of the bridge over water lilies for my Mother's Day gift. And then Thursday will be Craft Co-streaming with Carrot. He's got stuff to catch up on, and Thursday is my normal crafting day. So we're going to be doing different things, but sharing our screens and doing the co-streamy thing, which is always a hoot because, you know, things always take some weird turn that nobody's prepared for. In fairness, though, I think my channel always takes a weird turn that nobody's prepared for. So, but thank you all. Thank you to Matthew for popping in and introducing us to a new author. Be sure you check him out. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow at 10 Central is my time zone. You know, if you look at my schedule, it'll tell you what time for your time zone. Because time zones, they suck. And they take us on a wild ride. Thank you, everybody, for being here, for participating. Even if you just, you know, hung out and didn't say anything. I still appreciate it. Have a great evening.